Want to switch focus just a little bit. I know it's also Black History Month, and the NHL, of course, the Calgary Flames celebrating, throughout the month of February. And I just want to ask you. I know you've kind of talked a little bit before about, some of your experiences growing up in minor hockey in the St. Albert area, and just, some of those experiences you've had. But I wonder now, just as you kind of look back and reflect and take some time, just about role models and, how important it is to have them, and just sort of when you realized that maybe, you had such a huge influence on young hockey players.
Well, yeah, I think it's very important, and with Black History Month, I think it's great celebrating uh, Black Black history in science and music and just different in sports, obviously, and part of society and the different accomplishments. And I think it's great for young Black kids and minorities and just part of our society to see the accomplishments. And I know as a young kid getting to see, I wanted to be an NHL player from the day I put on skates and fell in love with the game at age 7. And, I went to school and everybody, most boys probably, 4 out of 5, if not more, we all went around and said, oh yeah, we want to play in the NHL. It was, Battle of Alberta, heyday, Oilers were flying. Hockey was big, but it was important for me. I didn't look the same as all, I was a minority. I was a young Black kid. There weren't a lot of other Black kids on my hockey team. So it was important for me to be able to see, Grant Fuhr, I've talked about before, and Claude Vilgrain. I tried to find as many NHL Black hockey players to see that it was possible, and I know it made it a lot easier for me to see them and to see them have success and saying, hey, they could do it. And, maybe I can do it one day too, as opposed to trying to think I had, would have to, when kids say, well, geez, what are the chances? There's no Black hockey players. And, it would have been a lot different if I said, oh yeah, you're right, there aren't, that's why it's also really amazing when I think of what Willow Reed did, Mike Marson, the second Black player in the NHL, and just what they would have had to go through, which was a lot tougher than anything I went through, and the way they paved the road. So for all of us other Black hockey players coming after. So yeah, I think it was very, very important. And I know in my dream, it definitely made it possible, made it more enjoyable. Was really thrilled that I obviously went and believed it was possible and was very blessed. But it's something that it truly does amaze me, the accomplishments of Willie Reed. And I think it's neat to see him celebrated at this time, and because he sure deserves it, and so does guys who came after him. And Mike Marson, who I just learned 14 years later. I mean, that's amazing that it was another 14 years before another Black hockey player played so in the NHL. So they obviously had their the challenges and more than I had, but I'm very thankful for that, and also thankful for the journey I had.
Well, and these conversations, these acknowledgments, the things that you just identified right there, I mean, how important is it in continuing, to make the game, but as you mentioned, all areas of activity, whatever you want to strive to be, but make it better and to continue that conversation moving forward. I mean, for you, just to acknowledge some of those markers, as you mentioned, those moments in history, how important is that?
I think it's very important. And I think it's important that everybody has an opportunity to follow whatever it is in life. I mean, we're all as good as everybody else, and everybody's no better than anybody else, right? We're all very important, and we should all have the same opportunity. So sometimes in that conversation, and I'll bring it to hockey, is you want more Black hockey players to play it. And to grow the game, you really want to grow the game. But I think part of what's really, really important is just making sure that all people, all Black players, all minorities, you feel it's inclusive. You have that opportunity, and you get in the locker room, and everybody in that locker room feels they belong there. They feel a part of it. They feel welcome. And that wasn't always the case. We've heard stories over the years, and I know when you're in Willow Reed's story and lots of other Black players I played with in the NHL, it wasn't always the case. But we want it to get better, and that's society too, right? You want everybody to keep having those tough conversations and keep finding ways to improve. And And that's I think Black History Month is powerful, and it's neat to see those. Like as with my kids, to
Yeah.
turn on the TV at different times and turn on the news and see different stories and accomplishments. I think is really cool and important.
Just one last one on that note. Joe and Tej, and just you kind of do you see things a little bit differently now too through their eyes? I mean, you obviously had your experiences, but just to see your boys coming up through the sport now, and then obviously being able to coach them as you laid out.
Uh, I don't know if I see it differently than when I was, as far as the on the hockey team. I had a great experience growing up. I was very, very blessed, and I had great teammates and great friends and guys that I'm still friends with. Some of my best friends are guys I played with hockey at 9 years old. So, they've had really good experiences as far as friendships but I do see as a coach that responsibility of making sure that we all respect each other,
Yeah.
making sure that it's not just about the cliches you hear, wins and losses, and really just not even just about being a better hockey player, but as a coach you do have a responsibility to try to help make sure they treat each other in the same way they want to be treated, and keep learning those values that growing up I had some great coaches and that help lead that way in a locker room and on a bench, and make sure that we're encouraging each other in the that positive side. So yeah, um, it is something that you do. You take there's a responsibility there, and I do see that side of it more for sure. But also at the and it's neat. You just want the kids who are involved to learn a lot of things. I think there's so many neat lessons in the game, and being in a locker room and being on a team, along with growing as a hockey player, and hopefully also as a person too.
So well said. And I just we'll leave you with one last one, and that's the Battle of Alberta. Of course, we know it's going to be 10 rounds of it this year, but we got a chance to see the Blasty jersey return for the first time. What did you make of seeing that thing in action, and are you guys following the Battle of Alberta?
What'd you call it?
Yeah,
What
I know
jersey?
you guys didn't have it. It wasn't Blasty when you guys had it. It's kind of become a new phenomenon, right? The horse head jersy, I
The
guess.
horse. I love the horse head jersey. I
Yeah.
do. I was disappointed. I think it looks tough. I liked when we wore them. No, we never called it that. The
Yeah,
Blasty jersey. No, never called it that. But great to see it back. Yeah, I do like it. I think it looks tough. It looks aggressive, and I like it. And I like the way the first Battle of Alberta went.
yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the time, and all the best with the coaching experience and the move into Kelowna.
Hey, thanks, Brendan. Have a great day.